Hi, how's everybody doing? This is a very important video I'm making. I usually don't use other people's content, but in this particular situation, I feel it's very urgent and it's very necessary for me to use the content that has been provided for everybody to look at. Some of this content is going to come from Jimmy Dore, and some of this content is going to come from Entertainment Tonight in Canada, and we're going to go over what Gene Simmons was saying about vaccines. Before that, I am going to let you guys see what exactly is going on, and Jimmy Dore is awesome about exposing people. I am not into politics with this bullshit with Republicans and Democrats. I gave up on that shit a long time ago. But what is important, that we are all a family here. I do love and care about all my people that I've met on YouTube, and I love my family here in the world that I live in, the physical world. But I've only met a few people on YouTube in person, and I've really made friendship with them, and I've met some really cool people. And I come across Jimmy Dore's channel a few years ago, and I've been listening to him ever since. And what he's saying here is very, very important. I'm not going to play the whole entire video. I'd like you to go over there and give my man a sub and subscribe to his channel, and go ahead and listen to what he's saying, because he's been vaccinated. He's been double vaccinated, and he's having side effects from this vaccination. So let's see what he has to say.
Risk of serious COVID illness than a vaccinated 7-year-old. And so you know who sponsors the news, right?
By Pfizer. CBS Health Watch, sponsored by Pfizer. Anderson Cooper 360. Brought to you by Pfizer. ABC News Nightline. Brought to you by Pfizer. Making a difference. Brought to you by Pfizer. CNN Tonight. Brought to you by Pfizer. Early Start. Brought to you by Pfizer. Friday night on Aaron Burnett Out Front. Brought to you by Pfizer. This Week with George Stephanopoulos is brought to you by Pfizer.
This weather report brought to you by Pfizer.
Today's countdown to the royal wedding is brought to you by Pfizer.
And now a CBS Sports Update brought to you by Pfizer.
Meet the Press data download brought to you by Pfizer. This portion of CBS This Morning sponsored by Pfizer.
On how to find the hidden sugars in the American family diet, sponsored by Pfizer.
Okay, so what is the...
Okay, you get the point here. And I'm going to splice this video, and we're going to go and look at this scumbag, Gene Simmons. And if you don't know who Gene Simmons is, he is the lead singer of a group called Kiss. They came out in the 70s. I was born in 71. I know about this guy. As I was a teenager growing up, he still was they were still around. And there was lots of articles written about the stuff that goes on at their concert. But their concert, the name of the band, KISS, stands for Knights in Satan's Service. So they're Luciferians, without a doubt, 100%er. They dressed up as demons. They dressed up as, all these things in the 70s. They've been promoting Luciferian Jesuit agendas for a long time. Gene Simmons is 72 years old, and at the end of the day, we're going to go take a look at this and see what Gene Simmons has to say.
This whole idea, this delusional, evil idea that you get to do whatever you want and the rest of the world be damned, is really terrible. We gotta identify those people and bring them out into the open, so you know who they are.
Right.
You know who your friends are by how much they care about you. That includes COVID. If you're willing to walk among us unvaccinated, you are an enemy.
That's Gene Simmons.
I don't care about your political beliefs. You are not allowed to infect anybody just because you think you've got rights that are delusional, of course. You don't have the right to go through a red light. Actually, the government has the right to tell you to stop. You have to put on the seatbelt. If they tell you can't smoke in a building, you can't smoke in a building. And that's not because they want to take away your rights. It's because the rest of us hate it. We don't want to smell your smoke. I don't want to catch your disease. I don't want to risk my life just because you want to go through a red light. It has become political. Unfortunately, the far left and the far right are both evil. They both spread all kinds of nonsense. I don't like either one of them. Politics are the enemy. Humanism and humanity is what we should all be concerned about. Love thy neighbor as thyself. For God's sakes, if I'm going to yawn in your presence, I'm going to put my hand up in front of my mouth. Yawning is not a life-threatening event. You having COVID might be a life-threatening event, and I don't want to catch it.
Gene also has.
This is real. Over 5 million human beings have died from COVID. I know that there are flat earth society people who believe that, and people who believe in all sorts of things. They died because they were fat or because they smoked. No, they died because they got COVID. And there are still a lot of people who don't believe that. And you have to find out who those people are. I don't care if you play football or not. Stay away from evil people who don't care about your health.
Sponsors the news, right?
By Pfizer. CBS Health Watch sponsored by Pfizer. Anderson Cooper 360. Brought to you by Pfizer. ABC News Nightline. Brought to you by Pfizer.
Making a difference.
Brought to you by Pfizer. CNN Tonight. Brought to you by Pfizer. Early Start. Brought to you by Pfizer. Friday night on Aaron Burnett Out Front. Brought to you by Pfizer. This Week with George Stephanopoulos is brought to you by Pfizer.
This weather report brought to you by Pfizer.
Today's countdown to the royal wedding is brought to you by Pfizer.
And now a CBS Sports Update brought to you by Pfizer.
Meet the Press Data Download. Brought to you by Pfizer. This portion of CBS This Morning sponsored by Pfizer.
On how to find the hidden sugars in the American family diet. Sponsored by Pfizer.
KISS frontman Gene Simmons took aim at unvaccinated people during
This
a recent
guy
interview,
is a
referring
complete
to them as
Luciferian,
villains.
has always been a
If you're willing to
Luciferian.
walk
He's
among
one of the most
unvaccinated,
evil
you are
people
an
in
enemy.
Hollywood.
Simmons, 72,
The man has
declared
been
in a
doing
Wednesday
fuckery
interview
since
with
for
Talk Shop Live.
72 years. He's been on the
You don't
planet.
have the right to go through a red light.
They are
Actually, the government has
irrelevant,
the right
these
to tell
folks
you to
now.
stop.
They have
The
so much
long-time
money
rocker
and they're
continued.
so
If they tell you you
disconnected
can't
from
smoke in a
society
building,
and
you
all
can't smoke in a building.
that they
And
are
that's not because
just
they
trying
want
to
take away
get
your
popularity
rights. That's
again
because
and
the
get
rest of
back
us
into the
hate it.
limelight.
We don't
But
want
they
to smell
have
your
sold
smoke.
their souls a
I
long
don't
time
want to
ago,
catch
these
your
members of
disease,
KISS.
he added. I
Gene
don't
Simmons
want to
being
risk
one
my
of them.
life just because you want
And
to go through a
they
red
got
light.
what they wanted out of
This
life
whole idea,
as far
this
as
delusional
money
evil
and
idea
celebrity.
you get to do
And
whatever you
as
want
you
and
get
the rest of
older,
the
your
world be
celebrity
damned
and
is
fame
really
goes, but
terrible.
the money's there,
Simmons
obviously.
then slammed both
So,
political parties, Democrats
that being
and
said,
Republicans, for
I already showed you
disseminating
what he
all
said
kinds of
before, so I'm
nonsense.
talking over with this lady
I don't
speaking,
like either one
and
of
that's all
them.
the shit that
Politics
he's saying
or the
in
enemy.
right, you know, it's written
Humanism
down
and
in
humanity
transcript
is
there.
what we should all be
The fact of
concerned
the
about.
matter is, if we
Love
do
thy
not
neighbor
stand
as
together
thyself,
on
he
this,
stated.
these
For God's
evil
sake,
son of a
if I'm
bitches
going
that
to
have a
yawn in
lot
your
of money,
presence, I'm going
and
to
no
put
matter
my
what they're
hand
saying
up in
about
front of my
politics,
mouth.
because this guy is a
Yawning is
Luciferian
not a
in the
life-threatening
videos,
event.
you can see
You
him put
haven't
his hand
taken
over his
might be a
mouth.
life-threatening
He's
event,
mocking
and I
flat
don't
earth
want to
people
catch
and
it.
all that other
KISS
stuff, which
was
has nothing to
recently
do with
forced
what
to
I'm saying
postpone
now
multiple
as far as the
concerts
flat
after
earth
Simmons and
conspiracy
guitarist Paul
theories.
Stanley
But
contracted
what
the
he's doing, the
coronavirus and
Masonic
banned guitar tech
order
Francis Cuba
signs,
Clive
the
due to
hush sign over
complications
his
from the
mouth.
illness on October
He's doing all
17.
kinds of flashing of signs. He's
Variety
letting them
reports
know
a recent
that he's
Rolling
still
Stone
on
article
board and
sharply
he's going to do
criticized the
whatever he
band's
can
pandemic
to
safety
push this
protocols
new
during
world
the US
order.
tour.
That is what it's
Three
all
crew members,
about.
speaking
God talks about
anonymously,
it in the
said the band
Bible.
didn't take
There ain't
strict
nothing
enough
new
safety
about
measures,
cloning and
which they
stuff like
faced
that.
against several
The
tour
angels
workers
in
and
heaven that were
potentially
cast
cost Cuba
down
his
from
life.
heaven had
Our
sex
end
with
of the road world
you
tour
know, human
absolutely
beings.
had
Why they
COVID
took
safety
these
protocols in
us
place that met
our
what most
children,
often
our
exceeded
great
federal,
grandchildren, or
state, and local
thousands of years
guidelines.
ago. I'm gonna put it
But
this way. I'm
ultimately,
so
this is
pissed off
still
I
a
can't
global
think fucking
pandemic, and
straight,
there is simply
and I'm
no
trying not to
foolproof
use
way to tour
profanity.
without some element of risk,
So
the band said
I
in a statement.
can't get my thoughts, and I don't write anything down. So I go by what I see, and I go by how I feel. I've always done that on my channel. And the fact of the matter is this: that you know that we are in a war. They are making it that way, and it doesn't matter if you're vaccinated or not vaccinated, or if you want to take the vaccine or if you don't want to take the vaccine. The fact of the matter is you're a free person. God put you on this planet to be free. All this stuff that's going on has been going on for thousands of years. Okay, when I was talking about the fallen angels, they took women as their wives. They did all kinds of shit. They had kids, and they're called Nephians, and they are big giant people. And then God, seeing how evil the world had become during Noah's time, and decided to cleanse the world with water. And that's exactly what happened. And that day is going to come again because we are living in evil times. It doesn't matter what I think. It doesn't matter what you think. Like Jesus says, he's going to come like a thief in the night. And if you're not prepared, you are going to be lost. There's only one way to defend against these people. That's the Holy Bible and Jesus Christ and strength inside yourself. You have to be mentally strong to deal with the spiritual war that is being put on you. They're attacking your children at concerts. There's 8 people that died supposedly at this Travis Scott concert. The shit looked like some fucking horrendous Bach fucking painting back from the 16th century. This guy painted the Garden of Earthly Delights. I read a lot about him. He's an artist. He's a terrific artist. He's one of the greatest we've ever had that lived on the planet. And his paintings are so detailed. Supposedly he had dreams, and he read Dante's Inferno and had dreams about hell, and he painted hell the way he perceived it. And that mouth of Travis Scott is a painting from Horrendous Bosch, where this demon actually eats children. And I think the Leviathan movie has that same character similar to that. That demon eats children's souls, and this is what they're doing. It is energy and it's frequency, and they use everything they can do to chink the armor of your spiritual armor that you have. When you're baptized as a child, you have spiritual armor. And when Jesus says you have to be born again, you have 2 births. You have a birth from your natural mother on earth, and you have a spiritual birth. That spiritual birth can take place anytime. You can be a little child and have that spiritual birth and be connected to the world and God and everything in it. Or you can be an older person, or whatever age, you will have a spiritual awakening. And by the way, all these Luciferians, Aleister Crowley, that dude that started the church, Deton or whatever the fuck his name is, that started the church in 1967 or 66 in San Francisco, they all on their dying bed repented to Christ. They knew that they made huge mistakes. Because when you die, and I have been around people that passed away, I worked in the medical field for a little while, I have seen some fucking weird shit. And when you die, people release their spirit to Christ or God or whatever you believe in. But I personally believe, and I know this to be the truth that I've read, that God has a divine plan for us. He loves us. And Lucifer and the devil, or whatever you want to call this, negative energy, these things they need to come into you to do evil. And they have to be invited. Okay? And they have to work on your mind. You either through alcohol, that's a spirit. Marijuana can be a spirit. Drugs, a spirit. All that type of stuff, attracts certain demons and certain spirits, and they want to get inside you to do mischief and cause hell on earth, because that is what the divine plan was. Lucifer was cast out of heaven onto the earth by Saint Michael and the archangels because he wanted to be God. Now the thing about this, if you look at this and you're a biblical person, God did not physically touch and make anything with his hands. God spoke the word, and the words he spoke made things appear and develop. He made the light and the day and the night and the earth we live on and all the grass. He spoke words. Words are what is being done. Sounds are what's being done. That's how the universe works, through sound, electricity, vibrations. Tesla talked about this. I think it's 369 theory he has, okay? Tesla spoke about all this types of stuff with math, with electricity, with energy. And I myself have my own thing about that. It's called EAT. It's energy and attention and time. That's what I tell people when I work with them. You're being paid for your energy, you're being paid for your attention, and you're being paid for your time. Okay, these are things that are going on. You have energy in you, and you have to pay attention to what's going on around you. And the time that you're doing at that moment is the time that you are, there is no past or future. It's just this moment. It's this moment in time. As I'm speaking to you, it's this moment in time. I was talking to my friend Pat Toothner over there on his live stream today, and I like his channel a lot. I like that guy. He's a good dude. He keeps it real. And my man Lobo, I like him. He keeps it real. He reminds me of my best friend in school, my friend Jay. He used to throw down fat beats, still doing it. Badass group they has, all too real. Been around hip hop for a while, and they had gotten into a situation with Rick Ross or one of these famous people because they wrote some serious, awesome fucking beats and had some really good music. And some of these guys it's called crab biting. They steal these fellas' beats. They steal their lyrics. And it's called crab biting. That's what they call it. And these are real thugs in these bands. These guys have done time. They have done some serious shit. And they have come at them, my friends, with this Luciferian shit. Asking them to do gay stuff and all kinds of shit. Which my mans are not down with that, That will get your ass smacked in the face and fucked up from them kind of people. But you're also dealing with gangsters, too. They're dealing with gangsters. They're dealing with gangsters that are evil people in that group. And they're part of an Illuminati. It is real. I have lived most of my life without fucking with any of this shit. But now that it comes down to this vaccine and all this shit that's going on, I have a little 13-year-old kid that I love, man. And I am not going to let anything happen to that child. And I don't give a fuck what I have to do to keep that from happening. Because I don't have a mother. My mother died. And I found my mom in a chair. And I love my mom more than anything on this fucking planet. And I did what I could do to be with her life. And I spent 10 years taking care of her. I didn't have no girlfriends. I didn't do nothing. I just worked. I was sick myself. I tried to get back into tennis. I trained. I did everything I could do, but I didn't have God in my life the way I needed him. I would just pray to God when I needed something. And my mom, God bless her, she fell in 1982 and had a blood clot on her brain and ended up going to see this neurologist, was the same person I see. And he saved her till 2010. And, it was May 15th. And I was going to go get my mom some flowers and stuff for her birthday. Because her birthday is May 17th. And, sorry. And I went to the flea market to buy tomatoes and sage plants and stuff like that. And stuff for her to cook, rosemary. Because she's always on TV, watching TV, and saying, I'm going to use fresh ingredients, Sean, and I'm doing this and that. And my mom loved cooking. She was on oxygen. She was a little lady. She was like 4'11", a very tiny lady. And before I left that morning, I said, hey, Mom, you okay? And she's like, yeah, I'm doing good. And I got her coffee for her, and her stomach was a little bloated. And she's like, I just need to go to the bathroom. I was like, okay, you sure? And so I left. I kissed her goodbye and said I love her, and I came back around noon, and I come in the house with her plants, and I'm going to surprise her because I went to the flea market and bought plants, and I was calling my mom. I said, Mom, and then I walked in the room, and of course I just seen blood in her nose and mouth and ears and eyes, and I grabbed her, and I did CPR but she was cold, and my mom's friend across the street, Sam, his dad was in Vietnam, and he came and tried to do CPR on her, and found out that she was gone. So I take life very seriously, and God bless me to know that my mom didn't suffer. She passed away quickly. But these vaccination shots, people are suffering. Okay, their little kids' hearts are blowing up. They got professional soccer players falling down on the fucking field, okay? These are professional fucking athletes. I know because I trained hard when I played, and I'm a regular guy. These folks are trained all their life and practice and do things. and their fitness level is so high, and the way they eat and their vitamins, everything. If they even take an aspirin, it could fuck them up. So this is serious. This guy's coming out there, as much as powerful he is, and all the people that watch this asshole, and they're all down with this guy. He is a Luciferian, Gene Simmons. He's gonna mislead you with lies. They'll never speak any truth because there's no truth in them. We are in a battle of biblical proportions, and I literally mean that. I'm getting indigestion just. I'm sorry about. I don't really talk about my mom or my events in my life too much because I try to bring positivity, and I'm trying to bring comedy to my channel. And I've been collecting cards for a while. Then I find out the NFL is rigged and professional sports is rigged and everything's fucked up, and everything I love to do all my whole life, I find out it's all fucking falsified and garbage. Kids knowing this now, and I gotta tell these kids, a kid like, hey dude, this is just for fucking entertainment, man. I don't curse like that, but I'm just being straight. This is it's like I'm being reborn again. It's like I'm a little kid and I have to learn everything all over, and hey, this ain't real, and I got thousands and thousands and thousands of sports cards and all this shit I grew up doing and watching, and love football and love to play it, and and enjoyed things with my friends. One of my friends is staying with me here. He and I played on the same football team together. Then I got people saying, oh, you never played or whatever. I don't really care what they say, because at 49 years old, I'll go out there and play right now and fucking put somebody out of their goddamn shoes. I ain't no fucking problem with that. It's just that, I'm going to go to the hospital afterwards because I'm going to need my shoulder reconstructed again or whatever. But I love you guys, and it's just important. And I don't care about subs and subscribes and all that. I don't really get into that. I never did. I've had the same channel for 5 or 6 years, maybe longer. I had one even longer than that. I got taken down for talking about, PSA and exposing them and exposing these big auction houses. And I finally got PWCC exposed to the point where, they're taking that shit off of the internet. Me and thousands of other people over years of hard work, exposing PWCC, exposing eBay, and they're in auctions and shilling and all that stuff that is going on. And friends of mine losing thousands and thousands of dollars. I got one buddy of mine that lost 80 grand on one of these cards, a LeBron James refractor auto rookie card, and it was fucking fake as fuck. And they ended up selling it on one of the PWC auctions, and he got taken for a fucking 80G. And in it was graded by Beckett. Supposedly it was a fake Beckett label, it was a fake Beckett slab. Who's to know, But once again, if you look at those numbers on the labels, they give you a number, and those numbers will match up on the inventory that Beckett and PSA, the database that they carry. That's why I tell everybody, if you're gonna buy anything expensive, download the PSA app. You can go on there, check the references number. But this is what I'm saying. It's not just sports cards, it's entertainment. You got people fucking dying at concerts. No one gives a fuck. They're just so distracted from what the real issue is. The real issue is we are on the brinks of losing our freedoms completely. The vaccinated and the unvaccinated. These people don't give a shit about that. They don't want you to have private money. They don't want you to have private land. And they don't want you to be able to do anything without them knowing about it. Whatever. If their life is so fucking boring that they got to go follow a 49-year-old man that's disabled around, that's fucking sad. Okay? Because I ain't got nothing to do against them, except the fact that they're fucking trying to hurt my family and my friends. And I got people that are fucking, their fucking brains are fucking broken from this shit. From Trump, from Biden. I mean, we have a president that can't even keep his bowels in his belly while he's doing business with the Pope, which is a Jesuit, a Luciferian traitor to humanity. They are all evil people. They don't care about us. And it doesn't matter if you have $1 million, $100 million. It doesn't matter, because you don't have enough money to fight these fucking assholes, okay? You need other people to stand by you. And I'm not talking about rifles and pistols and all that fucking stupid shit people were saying. Oh, sure, I say stuff on the internet like, yeah, I'm going to get my water, my food, and my lead, which I get lead anyway to go to the range and practice and have fun with that. But do you honestly believe that you can take on 1,000 fucking people, dude? If they want to bomb your fucking house down during a fucking apocalyptic, anarchic times, you're gonna have to hide, bro, and let things get sorted out and defend yourself in spurts. And you're gonna have groups of people. Unfortunately, not everybody can stay together. People will be trying to take your fucking kids and stuff. They're gonna steal your food. They're gonna steal your water. They're gonna take anything they can get. There is no law and order at this time. So everybody's saying defund the police and all that. The police aren't helping anybody but rich people and their families. That's it. That's all they're out to do. Tickets and all that shit. That's all they do. They don't know how to stop riots. I seen a riot when I was a kid in Philadelphia. It was in the 70s. I was standing with my mother and my Aunt Bonnie and my cousins and stuff. The Flyers had just won the Stanley Cup. It was awesome. It was in South Street, Philadelphia. It was awesome. The parade was going on. And then all of a sudden the riot started. And, my mom and grandparent, everybody just got me and my family away. And within 20 seconds or less than that, you see horses. Philadelphia had horses back then. The cops rode horses. And that riot stopped pretty quick. But it was pretty scary as a little kid to see people just swinging at each other and doing crazy shit, and my Aunt Bonnie was fighting with a lady and my mom was fighting with people. I mean, it was crazy. And I'm little, but, it all got sorted out. But that's just the tip of the iceberg about what happened in those big cities. You got to get the hell out of those big cities. And thank God in heaven, I got out of that, out of Ohio just before the pandemic, And I moved back to Florida where I grew up, and I know the place really well. And I love to do fishing times, and I love surfing. I love the ocean. I have a lot of, good traits about myself. And I have some bad traits too. I smoke cigarettes. I'm out of shape. I'm going through some shit with my health. But, I'm coming to realizations by meeting people on YouTube and sharing information with them, and them sharing information with me, and developing friendships and just listening. I'm getting better at listening, and that's what I'm trying to get you folks to do. I know these videos are long. You have to listen to what people are saying. You can skip through this shit. I don't care, but I'm going to do what I can. I'm going to post videos. I'm going to have good time videos. I'm going to have videos like this. I don't have a huge computer system. I have to use a tripod and tape it off these fucking TV and stuff like that. But it's just the meaning of it. Like I said, Jimmy Dore, I don't care about politics. The dude is, he's been V'd, and the man is having some side effects from it, and he's straight, he's being honest. And not only that, he's putting his fucking life in danger, man. They don't want a guy like that out there fucking telling that kind of shit. They don't care about him or his family or nothing like that. And, he's from fucking Chicago. The guy's been through some shit probably in Illinois, It's a rough area. And he's a little older than I am. And I don't go by any of the politics he does. But I do like when he brings Justin Jefferson on there, the football player from the Chargers. I'm sorry. Justin Jefferson with the Chargers. And he's a stand-up guy, and I just never seen a football player that really cared about, or any athlete that really cares about people and trying to get people Medicare for all and things, and really going out there and busting his ass, And I think if the NFL was straight, Justin Jackson would fit in perfect with the Pittsburgh Steelers. The man can catch, and he's a handful to tackle. I wouldn't want to tackle him when I played. He's strong, he's fast. And I like watching him play. I just don't think they use him enough in LA, and they don't think they know how to use him. But besides him doing that, I mean, he's not some flashy guy. I can get his autograph on the internet for like $10, you know what I mean? But there's people like that. There's people like this dude Lobo that's doing music, and his buddy, I forget his name. He's funny as hell over there. He remind me of my homeboys when I was growing up. And Pat Toothner reminds me of my homeboys when I was growing up. And then you got Mr. Sheldon over there. He's been coming in and commenting and stuff. He's legit. But there are trolls, and they're going to come at me, and I don't care. And they're going to sit there and, say stuff about how I articulate my thoughts and how I think and say words or whatever. But just keep in mind, I'm on fucking serious medication that affects my ability to fucking articulate my thoughts. And sometimes I stutter, and sometimes I'll drop shit because I have to take Keppra because I have fucking nerve damage in my hands and stuff. So I'm fucking smarter than most of these motherfuckers that are clear-minded and not on medication. But I have epileptic seizures, so I have to take seizure medicine, and that seizure medicine does, affect my ability to speak sometimes. But I think at this moment I've said what I need to say, and I'm not just going to ramble on, but I'm telling you this truthful shit, man. There's a lot in that Bible that people are misconstruing, okay? I'm just going to say this one thing that I've learned from the Bible is that people are talking about Adam and Eve, the part in the Bible where God tells them not to eat from the tree of life or knowledge, that they will know the difference between good and bad. Well, in my research and what I have found out that actually Adam and Eve wanted to take that bite out of that apple because they had to do that for God to have the divine plan that He made. God didn't want them to take the bite from the apple. God needed them to take the bite from the apple. And if it wasn't for Eve, Adam would have never eaten that apple, but because of Eve telling him, honey, we have to eat this apple because God has a divine plan for us and the human race. Okay? So don't think that God didn't know that Adam wasn't going to eat that apple. And because God speaks words and makes things through the sound of His voice, do you honestly believe that God didn't know that Adam and Eve wasn't going to eat the apple and not do what He told them not to do? He didn't want them to die. He wanted them to stay there, but He needed them to eat that apple for the divine plan to take place. And that divine plan, it was, and it still is to extinguish evil. That's what it's all about. Once evil is extinguished, there will be no problems. Everybody will live in harmony. Everybody will show love and care for each other and do the right things. But Jesus Christ came here to save us from us. And this devil is real. Because if there's a Lucifer, which everybody seems to agree that there's the devil, then there surely has to be a God that made Lucifer. And Lucifer was no way that anything that in this universe is going to beat God. God made everything that we know and everything that we see and do. And you can use as much science and as much mathematical equations to try to figure this out, and you will go insane trying to do so. Because it's not something that can be figured out by human beings. But that's my interpretation of what happened with Adam and Eve. They didn't sin. They didn't commit this horrible atrocity like the Bible that was rewritten and told you that they did that. Because if you read some of the older Bibles that are 100 years old and even 50-year-old, and before they started manipulating and changing words around, it pretty much tells you what's going on. That God needed Adam and Eve to eat the apple. He didn't want them to, but He needed them to do that. So, I love you all. The video is long, and I really appreciate you guys watching. And I hope that I will be able to build a better studio and do more higher quality work for you and be able to bring better things to you. I still haven't forgot about my giveaway, though. I said months ago when I reached 400 subscribers that I was going to give out $50 to one of the winners. Okay, so I am going to make a video on that because it's not fair to my friends that collect sports cards and were involved in my channel with sports cards. And then I'm changing I'm exposing stuff and doing sports cards and doing fishing times with Joshua and Ashley and Melissa and Chadley. And I try to do a lot, and I always have done a lot on my channels, different things to help to share my life with my friends and family on YouTube. But I do need to get better equipment, and I am going to do the $50 giveaway to my friends or whoever, everybody that's subscribed to my channel is going to get a chance to win $50. But mostly because of the fact that my friends that I know on here that I started my channel off with doing sports cards. I told them that I was going to do that at 400, and then my wife was like, "Fuck these people! They don't give a shit about you, and why the hell would you give them any money or anything?" It's because I have gratitude. I don't want to give you a box of cards that aren't going to be worth anything in the future. That's my opinion on the sports cards. I'm selling most of my collection, and the only thing that I would keep if I was, I'm just telling you, I would keep vintage stuff. I have Jackie Robinson cards, and I have Roberto Clemente, and they're my favorite players, and I know a lot about the history of them, and I like the Dodgers and the Pirates. So, and Don Newcomb, I have his auto, and I have a bunch of autos from Cody Bellinger and Corey Seager and Jock Peterson, which I'm selling at Luciferian stuff. He's really bent into that stuff with the things that are going on with him. So, but anyway, if you're going to collect sports cards, I will be collecting as much Tom Brady stuff as I possibly could, because Tom Brady, no matter how fake this shit is going to go down as one of the greatest NFL quarterbacks in the history of the game, and it's just a matter of time. And as soon as he retires, he's going to go straight into the Hall of Fame. He is Derek Jeter of baseball, of NFL. Derek Jeter wasn't a great player. He was just a clean guy that never got into trouble and was big time in the playoffs. He came up with big hits and he came up with big plays. And that's what made Jeter so great, because Alex Rodriguez was a better shortstop than Derek Jeter. They actually needed Alex, to play third base, because he would have easily took that position from Derek Jeter. So anyway, I appreciate you guys watching. If you're going to collect this fucking fake shit, go after vintage stuff. Go after, Jackie Robinson, Bowman 1948s, and the tops. I would go after, Sandy Koufax, those types of shits, man. And that would be a better investment than this modern stuff that's overproduced. And, and with this vaccine shit, you're going to see some real serious shit coming down next year. You're going to see some serious shit. People are going to lose their fucking everything. It's sad. And I pray that that doesn't happen, but we are in a bad way right now, and we need God's help more than ever. So I pray for everyone on here. I pray for, my friends and my family, and I pray for myself to be a better person and to get better equipment and do better videos so I can share better stuff with you. So thank you for, watching this video. I know it's long. God bless you, and God bless all your friends and family. And know that I love you and care about you. So if there's anything I can do, I will. And at the end, like I said, we're going to do the giveaway. Just give me a couple days to get something sorted out to do a fair giveaway. And I'll do a video. And then you guys can comment and tell me, what's your favorite sport or whatever. You don't have to make a video or anything like that to share my video. Just to let people know that I'm doing a giveaway, and everybody's more than welcome to participate in that. So God bless everyone, and until next time, you guys take care of yourselves and take care of each other, and peace be with you.